Hello YouTube and welcome to an all new Elder Scrolls lore video. Today we're talking about the secret ending to Skyrim Civil War, one that not many have heard of and that's likely to be canon but has a very small chance to occur due to Skyrim's infamous bugs. That said, enough intro, let's go. Alright, so many people over the years have wondered what the outcome of the Skyrim Civil War will be, as the outcome and the faction that will control Skyrim will heavily influence the balance of power in Tamriel in the coming years, and will likely affect whether the Empire will win a future war against the Thalmor. It's almost impossible for Bethesda to handle this in a way to satisfy all players, as none of the outcomes of the Civil War will satisfy everyone, since both the Empire and the Stormcloaks have avid supporters within the community who really don't like each other. But recently, while delving through the creation kit, I found a secret ending to Skyrim Civil War. A good ending, or so to speak. But due to Skyrim's bugs, nobody has actually seen this ending, it seems. You see, when you start the Skyrim Civil War, you're supposed to pick a side by either siding with the Stormcloaks or the Imperials. The choice you make here doesn't really matter, just progress through the questline as usual, as whatever shitty faction you prefer is fine. But there will come a point when you need to start preparing for the Siege of Whiterun, and at this point it's where the questline is usually bugged for everyone. You see, as a third choice for the Civil War is supposed to appear next to Honningbrew Meadery. You see, for some reason this NPC, which is called the Septim Scout, spawns only 0.00001% of the time, because Skyrim's engine for some reason refuses to spawn it due to a coding issue that Bethesda just hasn't solved for the final release. For some reason which I've yet to grasp, this NPC seems to only spawn when you're at 1 point of health and under the influence of both skooma and rock joint. Those are the parameters for the bug not to occur and for the NPC to actually spawn. When you talk to this NPC, he'll tell you that he's there on behalf of some mysterious master investigating the dragons that have been sighted in the area.
Ah, so you are the Dragonborn my master has been hearing so much about.
He'll ask you to pause your Civil War quest for a minute in order to help him so he can return to his master with information. He'll need some dragon bones and some skills so he can send it for analysis to his master. It's basically just a fetch quest and nothing special, but if you exhaust his dialogue when you give him the bones and the skills, there's a choice to tell him about the Skyrim Civil War and what kind of chaos Skyrim is in because of it. He'll tell you that his master will be highly interested in hearing what's going on in the mainland, and after that he'll leave to apparently give his report. But then, as you conquer another hold with your faction of choice, he'll appear again, this time seeking you out almost like a courier. He tells you that his master is grateful for your help and that he'll want your help again.
My master thanks you, Dragonborn.
His master wants information, specifically incriminating information on both Ulfric and Tullius, and that you'll be the one to gather that information. According to rumors, Ulfric is laundering a secret skooma dealing ring through his Stormcloak Mammoth's cheese trading company. Meanwhile, Tullius has been having a secret affair with the Thalmor ambassador Alanwen, and it's up to you to find proof of these rumors. So, off you go, first to Windhelm. You need to ask around to see if anyone knows anything about a skooma ring operating in the city, and as expected, nobody talks to you out of fear of being killed off by the system. But if you talk to the beggars and slide them some coins, you can get them to talk, and they'll tell you that some shady dealings have been going on at the palace with some guy named Jim, who shows up every once in a while with a large sack filled with septims. This guy is rumored to work with a man named Calixto, who has a museum where people never visit, yet it generates a lot of money. Suspicious, almost too suspicious. During the night you break into the museum and find, as expected, a large skooma lab and that guy named Jim working with several illegal Argonian slaves in order to produce it. You then overhear Jim saying that he's going to pick up Ulfric's orders that very night at the palace, so immediately you leave the lab and make your way to the palace, breaking into Ulfric's room. There you find him high out of his mind on skooma with 3 wenches in his bed. They're honestly just too busy to notice you when you manage to steal a letter with Ulfric's orders to the skooma lab and his seal on it. That's proof enough. By the way, if you're in that room and you have a high enough sneaking skill, you can actually pickpocket the wenches, and it's really, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's really worth it to see what's in there. So you steal the letter and immediately make your way out of the palace. Now, before you can return to the scout, it's time to get Tullius. This assignment before you seems easy, sneak into Tullius' bedroom, find proof, done. And it honestly is, as you just sneak through the castle dower during one of Tullius's military meetings and secretly enter his, weirdly unguarded room. When you search his bed, you find black and gold silk Thalmor underwear between the sheets, clearly belonging to a female. But upon closer inspection of the panties, you can't find any name on it, so there's no way to actually link it to the Thalmor ambassador herself. Although now you do have proof of Tullius actually having an affair with a Thalmor, as the panties are made out of special Thalmor authenticated silk, something which they won't sell to anyone outside of their organization. But you're gonna need more proof than that, so you decide to wait. You jump in Tullius's closet and wait. You wait for hours, but after a while, jackpot, as you can hear Tullius and Elenwen actually entering the room. You sit through their lewd activities, and when they're done and gone from the room, you can enter the room again and inspect the bed. On it there are several large blonde hairs. That, in combination with the underwear, is proof enough, you think. You then once again seek out the Septim Scout, who's now waiting for you, this time in Dawnstar's Inn. He takes the proof and tells you that his master thanks you, and that preparations to restore order to Skyrim have already been made, while you were gathering proof. He then looks at you and tells you,
"Come, comrade Dragonborn. A new Horker order awaits."
You do then go outside, and the scout fires a large fireball in the sky using magic. For a few seconds all is silent, but then suddenly you hear far-off Horker cries in the distance, and fire from catapults rains down on Dawnstar. Massive boats filled with Horkers approach as the Stormcloak or Imperial defenders, depending on your choices in the game, rush to the side of the sea to defend. The Horker invasion in name of Lord Tusk, last of the Septims, has begun. For those of you who don't know Lord Tusk, I made a video about him a few years ago. He's the last of the Septim line, forgotten by all but his own. The Horker Septim line came to be when the great-great-great-great-grandmother of Lord Tusk was married off to Bestialitas Septim. It's a long story and I recommend that you watch this video. It's in the description of the video if you're interested in more lore like this. Anyway, the scout explains to you that Lord Tusk decided to take matters in Skyrim into his own hands, or, flaps, and uses the chaos to take back what's rightfully his, as becomes clear in the ensuing missions, when you and the Horkers storm Solitude, Windhelm and all the other cities in Skyrim. The Horkers, under true Septim command, are absolutely unstoppable and annihilate the Imperial and Stormcloak forces. And that's where your quest ends. Lord Tusk, having taken the throne of Skyrim, tells you that next time you'll have to fight for Cyrodiil and Hammerfell, thus setting up the events of the Elder Scrolls 6, creating a secret outing for Bethesda, where they won't need to choose between either the Empire or the Stormcloaks and have a way superior faction to actually take control of Skyrim. Anyway, this video was sponsored by the Committee for April Fool's Jokes, and also by the committee of YouTuber that doesn't really know what to do with his life cringe. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of trouble recording this without laughing. So yeah, for the people that hadn't noticed yet, this is the April Fool's video. And if for some reason the YouTube algorithm takes a hold of this video, which I don't think it will, but it might. If it does, I make regular Elder Scrolls lore videos on the side, where I just cover new serious lore topics, not like this every week. Or at least trying to every week. And yeah, I want to thank you all for watching this. I honestly don't know what I was doing, but I had a lot of fun writing this. Special thanks to Mr. I think he wants to be called Historian J now, who kept reminding me over the years that I once made this video about Lord Tusk and that I had to advance his storyline. Well, I just did. I'll see y'all later in the new Elder Scrolls lore video, the new serious Elder Scrolls lore video, which will launch this weekend, hopefully, if I have enough time. See ya.